But in America, right, 2 of 3 Americans have chronic illness, right? That's over 200 million people. Okay, that's a lot of people. 7 in 10 deaths are due to chronic illness. And if you didn't know, the number one reason why people file bankruptcy is medical expenses. So, I would say that's nothing short of being under attack. So, the more you understand lifestyle medicine and get started today, you can prevent being one of these statistics, right? Because this is how everyone's headed, unless you're, stepping out of that, saying, oh, wait, let me do something different? Because everyone's like that. Some people are living healthy, right? And maybe people on this call, you just want to understand the secret sauce of what I'm doing, and that's totally cool too. So, the truth of the matter is if you do nothing, right, to improve your health, you will have a low quality of life. You'll feel disempowered, right? Because you're trying to, the doctor, you're like, okay, tell me what's wrong with me. It's like, well, how do you feel? You know what I mean? It's a very fine line between, where the power is and where you feel you have your power in your life. Is, do you feel like you can be healthy, or do you feel like you need the doctor to tell you? This is up to you, right? So this is why I'm doing this, to educate you to make a better decision. A lot of times people will have a chronic illness, they'll lose their mobility, they'll lose their work, possibly die early, like my cousin. And then what is the negative impact, right? On his family now. They lost his firstborn. It's very sad, right? And it was preventable. It was preventable. But I watched my cousin have pie eating contests, donut eating contests, soda eating contests. This is the American culture with my other cousin who's also obese. Like that is really sad. And that's why I do this, because I would love for young people to not be conditioned to think that that's okay. Okay. So, food isn't the only reason why inflammation happens in the body. Diet is a big part of it, of course. Also, metabolic acids is like basically when the body starts to have a disease and it starts to turn on itself. That's when you get like autoimmune situations and cancer develops. So, it's like you kind of want to get ahead of when the body becomes too acidic. Excuse me. Environmental acids are pollution, using toxic chemicals for soap and our cosmetics and our cooking ware. Teflon is very toxic. Tap water is very toxic, right? There's a lot of things to be aware of. And so detoxing is very important, right? In living in a toxic environment. I already touched on chemical acids, pharmaceuticals, recreational drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. And then the big one, y'all, is stress. Stress. People come to me, and a lot of the things they start with food, and we realize they need stress help. They need to learn how to meditate. They need to learn how to slow down, manage their time better, do something like yoga, right, Angela? That's not going to tear muscles and make you, feel like you need to put yourself at risk, right? So I advocate for low impact movement like walking. Walking is amazing for your body. Okay. So let's dive into the science. So chronic disease is linked to inflammation, right? So here are diseases linked to inflammation, all of them. It's like cancer, anything dealing with the brain, diabetes, the lungs, the bones, and the joints, metabolism, the heart, and autoimmune disorders, right? So autoimmune disorders is like an advanced inflammation where now the body's attacking itself. Okay. And so in the world of conventional medicine, they say this is incurable. In naturopathy, it is not. It is not. The body is miraculous and it can heal itself. Okay. And I have science and statistics and stories to prove it to you. Okay. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is absolutely possible. Okay. So right now, CDC says 6 in 10 adults have chronic illness, 4 in 10 have more. Right. So this is a real problem. How do we do it? How do we heal the body with food? It's really simple. Acidic food causes inflammation. Alkaline food is anti-inflammation. That is the basic principle for where we start, right? But as I stated, there's a lot more involved when it comes to being well. But this is a starting point of how can we use food to heal our body instead of injure it, right? Okay, so these are signs you need to detox, or what I call alkalize, right? You feel fatigue, you have mental fog, mood swings, that has to do with gut health. You have joint pain, arthritis. In my case, I had sciatica. Anything doing with digestion, bladder, UTI, that's all inflammatory down there. And then phlegm. Phlegm is a sign of inflammation. Phlegm are just white blood cells going to a site where there's some type of bacteria or virus that needs to get out. It's your body's response to something foreign in the body, as well as allergies, right? So that means we need to pull that toxin out, whatever that is, and let the body heal itself. Okay.